So what's good, YouTube? We are back here on the second channel, and I've been uploading some 2K. I just got my PS5, so pull up to the main channel. A lot more content coming there. But today I am back to report another trade scenario involving Russell Westbrook. You see, your boy was editing, just chilling, and I go on Twitter and I see something that I talked about, I think in my last video and even in a few videos before that. It's with this whole Russell Westbrook trade scenario. One of the teams that has came up a lot is the Clippers, because Kawhi has apparently reached out to him and Chris Paul. He really wants a point guard, and apparently the Clippers might be down. According to Scoop B, and this is a guy who he has actually broken a few trade rumors before the trade has actually happened, but he is saying that the Rockets and the Clippers have talked about a possible Paul George and a Russ trade, and possibly this would mean that Russell Westbrook, Robert Covington, and a first-round pick from Houston goes to the Clippers and the Rockets get PG. And this deal to me is kind of iffy, because I feel like both sides kind of benefit and lose at the same time, because I feel like Paul George would be the perfect number 2 for James Harden, like the most ideal one yet, because he's a good 3-and-D player, he's a star level player, and I think that he works better in that number 2 role. I also feel like us giving away Robert Covington, I don't really like that. Like, I'm just being honest, I don't really like us giving up Robert Covington at all. I think Covington is somebody that, I think him and James Harden should be the only players on the team that we shouldn't really trade, because I think that he is a really underrated player, and I don't want to even give up that first-round pick. I mean, if there's some kind of workaround here where like we can trade Russell and a first-round pick and get back Paul George, I would actually be like really happy to like do this. As far as the Clippers go, the Clippers are down bad. They are in a scenario where they can't really make any trades, and they really have no assets to move. I mean, I guess for them, getting Russell Westbrook makes a lot more sense, because sometimes Kawhi Leonard gets into this mode where he's a little bit too passive and doesn't really take over games, and Russ is that guy where Russ can really set a culture and just give this team the energy that they need. They have nobody who can really start a fire under any of them. Like, they have nobody who is a energizer on that team, and Russ with his intensity can really bring that. So this is another trade. I have more content coming. It's just that there's nothing really going on in the NBA, but I'm sure that next week, Monday is gonna start. It's gonna start. We're gonna be seeing the trades pour in. Of course, I'm dropping my mock draft tomorrow, and the NBA draft is next week. So within next week, a lot of this stuff should be heating up. But what do you guys think? PG for Westbrook. As a Rockets fan, I like getting Paul George. I think that Paul George and James Harden makes a lot of sense. Like, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, PG is a great number 2 option. James Harden needs somebody who can play off ball, which Paul George can actually do, and play defense, which Paul George has actually done. I think that a change in situation for PG and Russ can actually benefit them a lot. I think Paul George going back to the number 2 role and just not have to worry about anything else without that pressure is great for him, and that works well in Houston. And then I think Russ going back home, going to Los Angeles with Kawhi Leonard, I think that helps him as well. I mean, Kawhi doesn't want to be the facilitator. He does not want to be the lead ball handler, and it looks like Russell Westbrook really wants that role back. I mean, if we can figure out how to make this deal without giving up Robert Covington, as a Rockets fan, I would really be down, guys. But let me know what you guys think. This is another trade rumor that is a possibility. Don't be shocked if this actually happens, because PG, he might be getting moved. Like, there is a real chance there. And Russell Westbrook, I mean, I could see why the Clippers want him. The Clippers were honestly one of those teams last year with no real leader, no real energy. I feel like somebody like Russ, somebody with the intensity of Russell Westbrook, even though sometimes it hurts a team, it can also inspire a lot of the players on that team as well. But anyways, guys, we will see what happens. Next week, we have the NBA draft. Free agency starts as well. It should be interesting. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you go ahead and drop a like on it. Go ahead and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out, guys. Peace.